Are white people safe under Julius Malema? Does the EFF intend to continue undermining the current laws of South Africa? What does the EFF believe is the best way to address the country's land question? And what does Malema know about the Guptas? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. The Economic Freedom Fighters leader Julius Malema's case with a charge for contravening the Riotous Assemblies Act was postponed by the Bloemfontein Magistrate Court to 5th June 2017. Yesterday, addressing hundreds of EFF supporters outside court, Malema reiterated his call for black people to occupy any vacant piece of land they want peacefully. These utterances have put him on a collision course with the FW de Klerk Foundation and the Democratic Alliance. Both the de Klerk Foundation and EFF's political partner in the DA have threatened to lodge a complaint regarding the controversial comments with the South African Human Rights Commission. But why does Malema want the 1956 Riotous Assemblies Act declared unconstitutional? We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 089-1104-210, our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. But before we get into the discussion, let's have a look at this clip by AfriForum's Scully Creedle.
Julius Malema seems to be hiding behind a so-called Apartheid Act, but you can't just throw out the whole act. You have to look at specific sections of that. And the one section where it states that you are not allowed to incite people to commit a crime, that is not an undemocratic section.
Well, my guest today is Julius Malema. He's the EFF leader. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
But before we get into the program, why is it so difficult for you to come to the SABC? Well, of course, not for question time, but why?
Well, the SABC is like ANN7. They are all captured and controlled by the Guptas. Everything else you do is to project the ruling party and Zuma on a positive light. So my coming here is a waste of time. We could have treated the SABC the same way we're treating the ANN7, but we realize it's a national broadcaster. We have to fight for it. We have to rescue it from the capture. And that's all we're trying to do. And that's why from time to time we'll come. But, you know, you don't get that encouragement. You don't get that oomph when you're invited to SABC program, because, you know, it's a propaganda machinery, not even of the ANC, of a certain faction in the ANC. And we're happy the commission is sitting today, and today commission, the parliamentary committee met to try and investigate the shenanigans here at the SABC. How do you have such a reputable institution having one person calling himself a bot? It can't be. It's a joke. This thing has degenerated. And our coming here is to legitimize this mess which is happening here. And really we have a problem, and we need to correct it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are white people safe? You're saying we are not calling for them to be attacked as yet.
Yeah.
So is there a time at which perhaps we must anticipate that the EFF is going to call for white people to be killed or driven to the sea?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a prophet. I can only speak for now, because I exist now. And that's why I can give guarantees now that there's no such a thing. No one will be driven to the sea. Let there be a peaceful transfer of land back into the hands of the rightful owners. You know, the ANC was formed in 1912, and it has always pursued a peaceful protest until they realize it's not working for them. And that's when they took up arms. And we are traveling the same journey. And I wouldn't know what will happen in the future, but I'm saying, let there be a peaceful transfer of land without any drop of blood. I don't want to see any drop of blood. And white people are more than safe under Julius Malema, under the EFF. Racists are not safe. The white supremacists are not safe. The people who believe in Afrikaner supremacy and nationalism are not safe. under Julius Malema, because I'm not scared of them. I expose them, I confront them, and they are used to being worshipped. They are used to being getting black people to be answerable to them. I'm not answerable to any white person, and that's why they are not comfortable with me. You know, I'm like Nigerians to white people. Nigerians don't tolerate any nonsense that comes their way, and that's why there are not so many white people in Nigeria, because they think Nigerians are rude people. They think the Nigerians are not polite people to work with, but that is not the case. The Nigerians don't tolerate nonsense, and every time they answer you, you will think they are fighting. They are not fighting, they are emphatic. They know what they want.
Okay, I'm going to try and squeeze as many questions as possible before I let our viewers, call in. The act, this Riotous Act, which has gotten you into this case that you currently are, you don't seem to be retracting anything.
Absolutely, there's nothing to retract. If the ANC want to suppress a political speech in South Africa, let them do it. If they want to suppress the demand for the land, let them do it. I'm not going to retract. Let them use apartheid acts to suppress me. That act was passed in 1956 as a response to 1955. Adoption of Freedom Charter, which said people must occupy the land wherever they choose to occupy the land. I'm just echoing what Mandela and them echoed before us, and they passed that act in reaction to those people. They were trialing our leaders through the same act. The ANC uses the same act, but the ANC is not because they want to really deal with Julius Malema. They are trying to scare me off. They are trying to intimidate me. That was the decision which was taken at Luthuli House when Abrams was met, that as a response to the state capture report, we must say Malema has got this cloud hanging over him. He's not a credible person to even pursue. It was their response to Thuli Madonsela's report, which they know that we have actually provided a lot of evidence to Thuli.
Talking about...
I mean, how do you charge me now?
Yeah.
For the things I said in 2014, in December. Molato wa uboli mara wo wa gore batho ba jere naga ka 2014 ko ona go gopola mo motho wa Malema ile re batho ba jena. So wa bona gore mo na le manyofonyofo.
Talking about state capture.
Yeah.
Have you met the Guptas?
I've never met the Guptas.
Was there an attempt for you to meet with the Guptas?
Yes. Zuma's son called me and said they want to meet me. I said, write to the Secretary General of the Youth League, Vuiswa Tulelo, and then Vuiswa said to them, write and indicate the purpose of the meeting. I don't know if they know how to write, because they disappeared when they were told that they must write a letter. They wanted to meet me after 2011 rally manifesto launch of the ANC, local government manifesto launch of the ANC in Rustenburg,
yes,
where I said, we didn't put you, Zuma president, for a certain family to benefit from this country. I said that in 2011. Leave Musi and them, they are becoming fashionable now. I dealt with these issues long before, that this is not what we fought for in Polokwane. People say I say these things now because I'm out of the ANC. I said them in the ANC, on the platform of the ANC. I said them next to Zuma. I said, you cannot take our country and deliver it to a family. Our people did not die for a country to be controlled by unelected people in the name of the family.
What did you know at the time?
I knew that those people are manipulating a president. I knew that those people are appointing ministers. They called Mbalula in my presence that he's going to move from police to becoming minister of sports. And people thought I was joking. Mbalula went to Thuli and then he confirmed that it happened exactly like that. I don't go around spreading lies. Once I say something, you must know that's a killer point. I've got them.
Taking a quick break. When we return, we'll continue our discussion and we'll be taking your calls on 089-110-4210. Hashtag Ask Juju.
Make your house ultra homey with Macro's big festive season savings on appliances like Samsung inverter air conditioners now 8,599 each, save 2,000 Rand. A Philips air fryer and hand blender combo, get both for only 1,999 and save 1,000 Rand. And how cool is the Hisense 340-litre frost-free fridge for 5,999, save 500 Rand. Share in these and other big festive savings for home, for business, for life. Only at Macro, big on life.
It doesn't always make sense.
It's easy to ignore.
It's always asking questions. What if cars could drive themselves? What if we could drive on the moon? What if headlights were lasers? What if cars could run on water or even air?
It's called your imagination.
And if you listen to it,
Great things will happen.
it's what we do at Audi. It's what we call Vorsprung.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today is the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema. Mukhadi, you are in Kempton Park. Welcome.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
And good day to the Commander-in-Chief.
Hello.
Ke rata gore fela gore a re ska tšhabang nnete ge re le batho ba South Africa. Ka gobane tše Commander-in-Chief a dilang ke nnete and ra di bona di a diagala. So ANC ga e ska iphitlha dilo di tswele nyanyeng gore re kgone go tswela pele as South Africa and then re kgone go tswela pele as youth ya South Africa. Ke a leboga.
Thank you very much, Mukhadi, there calling us from Kempton Park, saying, well, don't hide the truth. The ANC must just be honest and blatant with the truth so that South Africa can develop.
If they'd listened to me in 2011, if had Zuma taken a criticism in 2011 and not respond to criticism by expelling me, wouldn't be where we are now. Zuma should have known, or dirakile, bangerile, let me leave these things I'm doing with the Guptas and start doing things differently. Wouldn't be where we are today. He should have said to them, you're using my name wrongly, you're manipulating people in my name, you are undermining the democratic outcome of both ANC conference and the South African electorate. It's unacceptable, therefore, I'm not going to associate with you anymore. Then, today we wouldn't be talking about what we're talking about. So what happened was dealing with anyone who didn't want to do business with the Guptas.
Esther, you are in Pretoria. Welcome.
Hello, Butimboki Eunice, Abankwakabozi.
Oh, Eunice, bana pabare Esther na bana khantudi le
le. Botata ke lebitso le botse.
Woman, jwela pe.
Dimetse Modimo Shabi ka mo we ke le rata go le rata masogana mabedi a polokwane.
Re leboa.
Ya le deja nna ke khuna mi fase ka matlole ke re ba shumane ba tswele pele. Ke private business. Mara fela. Eunice. Ka gata e ntse ba tlile. O ne ba bonela kwa gole ba potela le bona ke gone ga ba ile. Moshabi sana ke private hospital batho ba le ba bona ba apere uniform a se manese ke di care worker ba di apesa uniform ile cheap labor ke na le 30 years in a field aksoka ke kra le trophy A1 wonde na le gwa o tsana within 2 weeks ba mo fa mbentlele ga ni bela re bereke ka gore raise di concern ba re ba ile fase Moshabi le tshata renta ke na go rometse message mo Facebook ka re Moshabi ka mpatelle rente ke a lebo.
Okay, Eunice. Well, Eunice they're saying, yeah, she's in the health sector. They are not working permanently because there's a lot of things that are not going well in that sector, which I think goes to one question which I've always asked labor unions here, that the youth workforce, one, they are not unionized. Secondly, they are highly abused. The call center workers and all that. What does the EFF do or intend to do with such a critical workforce?
Well, firstly, they can't be unionized because unions are in the pockets of management. they are with the ruling party, they are with the management, and in most cases they sell out workers. She raises a very correct point. She says, we've been here, working here for a very long time, and a white lady will just come in 2 months' time. She's already given promotions, she's got stars as a nurse, and then we must salute her, having found us on the field. So those are the things that the EFF is exposing. We are fighting against white supremacy and suppression of our people, because by speaking out against these things, then these workers are beginning to say, well, we know our rights. Listen to what she says. She says, we are being victimized because now we are speaking out. And why are we speaking out? We learn from you that we need to confront the system, we need to confront the establishment to start respecting us and paying us accordingly, particularly equal pay between black and whites. I'm not fighting white people, but I'm worried. 22 years into democracy, everything cheap labor is black. I've entered these buildings of the SABC from the gate until I arrived here. No white security guard, no white cleaner, no white tea lady. What have we done? Why do we deserve this? Did Jesus Christ die for us to be subjected to this? No. In the restaurant when I arrived here in Joburg, there were white waiters and waitresses. Where are they today? They are no longer there. Why? Because their life have been improved. They don't need those change from restaurants. It's blacks who must go and do that work. Somebody asked me, do you go to restaurant? I said, no, I don't go to restaurant because I thought restaurants were for the rich. But when I got exposed, I realized I cannot tolerate the situation in the restaurant where blacks are serving white people and they are being harassed, they are being shouted at. When I try to respond, my wife tells me we're not here for those things. Wait, we're here to eat. So I just say, let me stay at home. I don't want to see those things because I won't keep quiet with this exploitation of our young people.
Sbu, you are in KZN. Sbu? Okay, Sbu is gone. Okay. Now, Julius, tell me, what happened to the former Honorable Mtileni? Was he fired from the EFF because he got a selfie with Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, as he says?
No. Mtileni was supposed to go and lead a new municipality in Malamulele because that's a newly established municipality. So we needed somebody with more experience to go and lead that municipality. When we approached Mtileni to go to a municipality, he said, no, I can't go there. I've got kids in private schools. I bought myself a double cab. That is a demotion. And we said, we're not here for double cabs and kids in the private schools. We're here for purpose of saving. And Malamulele, that's where you come from. You are most senior. Go and serve your people at that strategic level. He refused. And the refusing to carry the mandate of the EFF, you are defining yourself outside the organization. Now he says, no one told him why he must go to Malamulele. They didn't give me reasons why I must go to Malamulele. But who gave you reasons to go to NCOP? You never asked for reasons to go to NCOP. So why do you want reasons today? The organization, when you signed, you said you shall carry the mandate of the organization without failure. And today, it's more about you and your family. We can't build such a cream, especially at a formative stage. We need to send a strong message that anyone who defies the organization is defining himself or herself outside the organization.
Sisagele, you are in Ekurhuleni.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Fighter. I will call you Fighter because you are there with my leader, Julius Malema. You know what? I'm Granny Sisagele. My leader knows me very well. We had enough about all those things that are happening. You know, thank you very much, Fighter Malema. CIC, you have opened our eyes because without you, we didn't know what's happening behind the scene in terms of Guptas and all those rubbish and ideology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm seeing a tweet there going through, Julius, saying, well, I don't know if that's not necessarily supposed to be your mandate, but somebody's asking about the APLA cadres who are still in jail. Yeah. What is the view of the EFF on that?
We have engaged the Minister of Justice. We are taking up that campaign. We have helped to release Kenny Mutsamai. We have returned petitions. Even now, we have employed Kenny Mutsamai so that he can work for the EFF full time. And he doesn't have to be a member of the EFF. He's a PAC a member, but we are trying to integrate him back into society. We are deeply concerned, especially when we see the white people who killed our people being released from jail, and our former liberation heroes being locked in jail for fighting for us, and the ANC selling them out like that. So we are really fighting. And with the release of Kenny Mutsamai, if once he gets his total freedom, we're going to then assign that project to him and give him the necessary resource and support to continue fighting for the release of all those people who are in prison for fighting for our freedom.
Witness, you are in Limpopo. Welcome. Usange.
Man. Hey, Julius.
Nda.
How's it?
I Rona Rombelange.
Rona man, witness from Limpopo, actually, now, to be honest, I'm not a fan of the EFF or Julius Malema, but I'm of the view that the charges against Julius are politically motivated. You can't have the charges the crimes which are alleged to have happened in 2000, some few years back, being brought now because Julius is pressurizing people politically. The charges against Julius are not different from those which were put against Mqebo Dlamini. They were just similarly to show that there's some political motivation because Julius is unveiling their political scandals.
Okay, thanks. How much are you affected by this?
I am not affected at all. The Riotous Act charges, it's an apartheid act which says it was aiming at protecting the Europeans against non-Europeans. So it doesn't have a place in South Africa. The aim was to silence us. I know how the chaps from Rangwani's house operate. So when they can't take a political pressure, they start looking for things to suppress their opponents with. So I don't believe that there's anything wrong I've done. I've given a lot of people till today a place to call home. And they've successfully occupied those pieces of land. They've got a place to call home. And that's what makes us sleep at night. Why should our people live in congested environment when there is a piece of land idling and with no clear plans of what is going to happen there? Let our people have a place called home. That's all we are fighting for. And if that means me going to prison for fighting for such a just cause, so be it. I'm just continuing with Subukwe, with Biko, with Mandela and Chrisan. That's what they've been fighting for.
So you're not afraid of jail?
I'm not afraid of jail, particularly if I'm jailed for the land, not for corruption and wrong things that are criminally related. But this is purely a political trial and which we are ready to confront.
What should we expect from the EFF going forward?
Well, the EFF is the future of South Africa. It's growing, and people should be guaranteed that the EFF will continue to hold the executive accountable, and they will continue to fight for the voiceless and the landless masses of our people. We will ensure that indeed the poor, they are heard by both business and the government. We speak today, the JSE is now changing policies, saying for you to be listed, you need to have black partners. Who did that? Is the EFF. The future looks bright. Maybe you need sunglasses.
Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
And that was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest and to you for watching the show. From me and the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Hi, Bechot.